Hi, welcome to Shell's Pros of Wisdom. I am here with the beautiful Valerie. Hey, Valerie, how are you doing
Hi,
today?
good. How are you?
I am doing great. And she is also part of my newfound pinup family. So, Valerie, what is your pinup name?
Valerie Voiture. It's actually an alliteration with the double V's, but it's also French for automobile, which is part of our life. So,
Yeah, I've been
double
learning a
whammy.
lot about Valerie off camera, and we'll get into that. But she has like a cool little stuff going on that I did not know about, which is kind of makes me even more intrigued. So, with your beautiful self, I'm just gonna start with some basic stuff. So, how old are you, Val?
I will be 46 in July.
Oh, a Leo, right?
Yes, ma'am. Get my
Okay.
crown. There you go.
And then you have two brothers, correct?
Yes, two younger brothers.
And how was that growing up being the eldest?
Oh, it was great. I got to be the boss all the time. Everybody had to listen to me. Everyone had to do what I said. I loved it.
Did you ever like put the makeup on the brothers and make them dress up and play dolls and
Um,
stuff?
Not makeup, but we definitely dressed up and we did like theater shows and acting and all stupid stuff for my family. So
Are
yeah.
they like big personalities like yours, or they like to have
Um
fun, or are they more reserved?
One of them is he's also a fire sign. And the other one is less so, but when you put the three of us together, it's sometimes my husband leaves the room because we just get like feed into each other. It's fun. I think it's a hoot, but it's definitely not for the weak.
Well, that's amazing. We're kind of like on the opposite end where Valerie is the eldest out of her three and has two brothers, and I am the youngest out of three, and I have two older brothers. So that was kind of cool that we learned that about each other.
Yeah, like yin and yang.
Yeah, yin and yang. I am 69. Duh, me.
There you go. Exactly.
Exactly. And then I asked her also what her heritage was, and that was,
We think Polish, but we don't know for sure.
and she had a very interesting answer on why she does not want to know. She wants to remain a secret, you
A
said?
mystery. It's more fun to keep people guessing.
I love it. I was telling her that when I first saw her, like her very first like picture, I thought she was like Russian. I like
Yeah.
I totally
Yeah.
got that vibe. And it's kind of like that naughty girl. Like, you know what I
It's
mean?
the eyebrows. It's my
Oh,
eyebrows. I have villain eyebrows. Look at.
I don't know. Okay, well,
Oh.
that's what I saw, but I thought I saw sexiness. So I didn't tell Val this off camera because I want her to be a surprise. She's a female crush to me. Okay, she's absolutely
Oh.
okay. I
Oh.
I am not ashamed to tell her because it's the truth.
Aw.
But I thought
Hey.
she was absolutely gorgeous. Before I even met her, I just saw her like in the pinup groups
I
and
think I'm
on
probably
Facebook.
blushing. Am I blushing?
But no, like I do. I think you're absolutely gorgeous. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know if it was the stern look where you were like kind of like I don't know. I don't know. It's
Like I
something.
might thank you if you're naughty, naughty.
Oh, see, I like that. Don't you add in the accent too, because I'm a sucker for an accent.
Oh, your head's gonna explode.
Don't
Sorry.
don't start nothing you can't finish about.
Oh,
And plus,
yeah, that's a whole nother interview, I think. How did we pay for college?
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I got time. If you got wine, I got time. I'm just
Ah,
saying. So, so I did just want to tell you that my first impression of you, just right off the bat, seeing you on the Facebook and the blog, like the normal stuff that I would just see you posting and talking about. I just thought you were an amazing person in the sense that
aw.
you're well rounded. She's not uppity. She's not stuck up, which is awesome because I can't stand bitches like that.
You know,
And
people think that I am usually at first because I have this face and I can't help it. So
you
I
do,
know that
you
that,
can come across a little bit intimidating, you know,
yeah, yep, yep.
but
But
I
I'm
like that.
like the biggest goofball, honestly. For a while, I had this really fun little kit going where when we would do photo shoots and the photographer would test the light,
Hmm.
you just make the worst, like Calvin and Hobbes faces you could think of. And then you just share those because because anyone can take a nice picture, right?
Right. It's the
But
goofy
to be
ones that
funny,
matter.
to make fun of yourself, to find the opportunity to find the humor,
Yep.
that's more fun for me. I mean,
I
nice
think,
photos are great, but can you laugh at yourself, really?
and that's what it's about, not taking yourself too serious.
Right,
That's
right.
the biggest part is
Yep,
not
no one gets out alive. You might as well go laughing.
well, laughing actually burns calories too.
It
So
does. It's killing my face, though, with the wrinkles. I'm telling you.
as long as we have sex and have laughter, we will be fit and
We
trim.
will be okay. We will survive.
So, um, what I've discovered though, with Valerie being such a confident and beautiful woman, I would have never known that she has actually had her own a moment of, I guess I want to say, the ugly duckling into the swan story, to
Yeah.
where she was even she even shared with me that she was even bullied growing up, which
Mhm.
I just can't imagine that. So I just want to talk about that as being a little bit of your backstory. When did this all kind of start happening?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody gets bullied at one moment or another in their lives, really. But I went to Catholic school and we had uniforms. So growing up, you couldn't see the differences because we all had to wear the plaid. So it wasn't a big deal. And then in about sixth grade, we started to be allowed to have blue jean day once a month because Jesus said it was fine. And some of the more well-to-do kids had the I don't know if you remember the Guess jeans had the triangle on the back pocket, and it was a dead giveaway. So if you could afford that, you were a cool kid, and if you couldn't, you got teased. And so we didn't have that stuff because we we didn't have that much money. So that's actually kind of where and this is off a tangent. I'm digressing, sorry.
You're
That's
fine.
kind of where I got interested in vintage stuff anyway, because we couldn't afford what the cool kids had, but we could find really cool shit from Goodwill or Salvation Army or
Yep.
like, and that was way cheaper than any of that crap that honestly was popular for like what, a year, and then it was stupid.
Right.
So I mean, I'm wearing bell bottoms and stuff, and so obviously I'm an easy target, but it was a fun look. It was different. It was an opportunity to be creative. So when kids are, calling you fat and like a loser because you can't wear the cool clothes, you're like, oh, whatever, Beavis. What?
I mean,
It
you're
bothers
so
you when you're a little kid, but then you get older and you get to a point where you don't give a shit what these nobodies have to say. And I think that's really important as far as um, finding your confidence and stuff as an adult. I mean, I got picked on a lot, like a lot of people do, but
well,
what I
give me an
learned,
example. Like, give me
yeah,
like
sure,
when you
absolutely.
think
So
of
what I've
something that's
learned,
like a really good, like, okay, I will never forget this happened. What would be one of those moments?
I don't know that there was one definitive moment. I think it was a lot of little ones that kind of led me to a mindset, to be honest. So once you have this, adolescence and young adulthood of not feeling good enough, not being able to fit in, at some point you decide that the only person who matters what they think about you is you. I mean, who gives a shit what Johnny Rotten says that from high school? He's fat and bald now. So come on.
It's
I
true.
mean,
That is true.
why do we care what these people think? And of course, in the moment, it feels like hell. I get it. I've been there. But if you're able to kind of just decide that they don't matter, it makes a difference.
Did it
And
ever bring you to
then you
tears?
can let it go. You kind of break the shackle of that really shitty feeling of
Right.
not being good enough. And that follows a lot of people well into adulthood, which
Yeah.
breaks my heart because we're not supposed to be sad about that stuff.
Especially
Life
if
is
it's things
supposed
that
to
you
be
can't even
enjoyable.
control. Like you can't control like how much money your parents make, and you can't control
Exactly.
over like those are not in our control. Um,
Right.
did you ever have the moments where you did have the breakdowns where even though you were trying to be positive, you still
Yeah.
felt
Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course. We always have those moments. I mean, even now, sometimes you get hormonal and you're like, but when it's done, you're like, okay, I'm fine now.
okay.
Because, feelings are normal and you should feel all your feelings. But
What were your
when you're done, be done.
what were some of your coping mechanisms to get yourself to that?
Well,
I love it when someone laughs when I ask them a question because that usually means it's pretty juicy.
I smoked a lot of weed.
Hey, I smoke a lot of weed now.
I do now too. I mean, but I mean, as a kid, it helped because I liked it better than alcohol because you didn't have any negative side effects. You didn't get sick. You weren't going to crash your car. And it helped kind of take all the edge of the anxiety and the hurt feelings off,
Right.
which is hard to get rid of if you're stuck there. So,
Yeah. No, I
that's
mean,
what I did. I
it,
smoked me some weed.
I know a lot of people that, and now it's so funny that you mentioned this. A little side note: a lot of people actually are medicated professionally
Yeah.
with marijuana now for a lot of depression and anxiety and ADHD. Like there's a lot of truth behind people that do that for now a medical purpose. So even
Yeah.
though back then you were doing it, because you knew it just made you feel better, it was able to get you out of your head and you're able to
Right.
escape. It's actually like truly a drug use for that basis now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you were
Yeah.
just
And
an
then
you were just an invigorator and you were just above the curve. That's all.
story of my life. You want a new trend? Give it to me. I'll do it.
There you go. You're just a
We'll
guinea pig.
make fetch happen. God damn it, Gretchen. We'll make that happen. Don't worry.
Right. So I say be proud of it.
I mean,
You're like a
yeah.
million Earhart in here. Instead of lying, you were like, I'm gonna test out this weed for everybody else in the future who might need this. Let me tell you, it works.
Yeah, and it's really funny too because here in Michigan, recreational use is 100% legal, so you can just do it for fun now, which is really nice. I've
Yep.
lost so much weight not drinking. I mean, I have my glass of wine right now, but it's Tuesday. What else are you gonna do? I mean, it's Tuesday, right?
Duh.
It's been a long week. It's been a long week.
Been a long week. Been a long 2 days.
Oh, girl.
So that's that's interesting that you like once again that you experience the bullying and you experience that. I think it's the cultural differences between upper income families and lower income families. We really don't see that too much sometimes because usually when you're in a neighborhood, usually everybody's around the same
Right.
income, you know.
Yeah.
So when you are a child that's going to a class, or because you said before that
Private
you need to
school.
right.
It's
So
all a mix of different people. It's not just your neighborhood kids, exactly. And like I said,
right.
I didn't even notice until the dreaded triangle butt patch. Motherfuckers are evil.
You're like looking at every triangle like motherfucker. I don't want to see a shape. I'll do circles, I'll do rectangles, but don't you put a damn triangle in front of me.
They better not have a palm tree on it because that's palmetto. It's not. Guess. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh Jesus. For me, in high school, I think everybody really started getting into like Tommy Hilfiger and
Yes.
um, who else was really big? Like FUBU had came out.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah,
I was just a
remember
little
them?
bit ahead of you.
So it's like if you didn't have like Tommy Hilfiger and you didn't have like the latest FUBU and the latest like all these like
Yeah.
Nautica and all these like
Hmm.
top
We
name
had the
brands.
Coke shirts. Remember the Coke
Yep,
shirts? You were
yep,
probably littler, but yeah.
yep. No, I remember. So
Ugh.
I remember going through the whole. Oh, and the shoes. Oh my gosh! If you didn't,
Reebok high tops, all white.
I remember I begged my mother for British Knights.
Oh,
Yes.
I remember BK.
Remember
Oh,
because I was like,
yes.
Mom, I need
Oh, I do remember that. That's so funny.
BKs. I'm like British Knights, and she's
I
like,
know.
take your ass to Walmart and get you some heads. I'm like, okay,
Funny.
yeah. So I
I
get
don't
it.
know. I
I
don't
get
remember
it.
if I had any of that stuff. I kind of wore, I had Doc Martens. I was one of those kids.
I like Doc Martens.
Yeah, because when I was in high school, it was the early 90s. So we were listening to, I ran the gamut, girl. Let's just talk about all your personalities in high school till you figure shit out.
Right.
I, uh, I liked The Cure and I liked like all of that gothic stuff because it
Uh-huh.
was good music. It was fun. I liked it. But then we also had Metallica.
Yep.
Metallica was super fun. I
That
think I've
baby
seen,
music came really hard in the
yeah,
90s.
it was fun. I mean, I think I've seen Metallica live second only to the Grateful Dead because it was fun. And back in the 90s, tickets were $20.
Yep.
You could drive up north to Charlevoix, which is northern Michigan, up by where the Pinky would be. And it was $20 to see a great show of a band you knew.
Yep. And you
Now
knew
it's
it was
like
gonna be a
$200. You
memory that
can't
you
do
were gonna
that.
make. Yep.
I'm not paying $200 for some shit that I'm not gonna be able to hear for 4 days afterwards anymore anyway because I'm getting old.
Right. Exactly. Who
Not
used
worth
that
it.
one? Who used that one? I looked at tickets to see Bruno Mars. His tickets to be in the nosebleed started at $300.
Are you serious? It
I
wasn't
told
always like this.
I told Bruno he can go suck a nut. Ain't
Ugh.
nobody paying no $300 to go sit in the nosebleed, baby. Not today.
Mm,
Not tomorrow.
not
Not
today.
ever. So,
No,
well, I mean, honestly, Val, I look at you now and you are once again gorgeous. You are put together. You have a great personality.
and my Grateful Dead
So
t-shirt.
it was your Grateful Dead T-shirt, and you're still not. You're very humble, and I don't know if it was because of just what you've gone through when you were younger or what, but it carries through now. And I just want to know, like, if you experience anything as an adult that makes you feel like it ever brings you back to that 11, 12-year-old little girl or
Yeah, sure, of course. Yeah, people don't pick on me now, honestly, and I think again it comes to the villain eyebrows, my face. Nobody really messes with me. Um, but I see people who I care about get picked on, and that kind of makes my heart hurt because I remember what it feels like.
Mhm.
And I wish I could bottle confidence and just give it as a gift. I wouldn't even sell it. I would just give it to you because like I said earlier, the minute you let other people's opinions go and not let that affect how you feel about yourself is the minute all that unhappiness and all that anxiety is gone. Because if you can just decide that their opinions don't matter, then they don't, and that's just how it is. And I know that I hear myself, I hear what I'm saying, and I get that it's a very simplistic answer, and I know that people have mental illness and they can't necessarily do the things that I'm saying. But if you can, do the work. It's worth doing. But I don't know how to tell you how to do it. It's an individual journey. You know what I mean?
Yeah, preaching to the choir. Um, did you ever go through a weight struggle? Like,
Well, yes. Yes, because like I said, I was a big kid in high school. Um, and then once I graduated and got away from all those rotten, shitty kids, I lost the weight, no problem. I
What
also
were
did a
some
lot
of
of
the
cooking.
mean things that you were told? What are some of the things that were said?
What the kids said to me to pick on me?
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh, geez. Okay. Well, my maiden name is Manglitz, Manglitz, right?
Hmm.
German name. And I had huge boobs. I've had a reduction, so I had humongous boobs.
Me
Already big.
too.
Yeah, I know. High five
Oh
again.
my God. Okay. Uh-huh.
So in high school, I had these humongous tits. I was a fat kid. I was awkward. Blah blah blah. And my last name was Manglitz. Them fuckers call me Mangled Tits. Yeah, nice, huh?
Bastard.
Although I will tell you, here's a great story. Here's some nice vindication. So the one asshole that came up with that and got all his, jockey buddies to chime in, I ran into him 20 years later, right? So
Hmm.
I'm what? Maybe not 20 years. Okay, hold on. Probably more like 10. So 10 years out of high school, you're still like in your 20s, right?
Hmm.
That kid ended up working with my dad. And so I went to go visit my dad to take him to lunch, and the kid was like, "Hey, Manglitz, who's your hot friend?" And he's like, "That's my daughter." And he's like, "Valerie?" And I'm like, "Bye, bitch."
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and he was, fat and balding. So 10 years out of school, I was like,
I'm
"This is
telling
why
you,
you
if
let
you
no
peak too
one's
early in
opinion
high school,
matter."
you gonna have a rough life for the rest of your life. You're gonna have a rough
Yeah.
life.
It's always,
Wow.
yeah.
So
Isn't that
you're like
funny?
middle fingers up to you.
Pretty
So
much.
wow. Wow. I mean, we're already fast approaching the first 30 minutes, which is amazing because I could talk to you
It's been a
forever.
half hour already? Are you
Yeah,
serious?
I'm telling you, it goes so fast.
It goes so fast.
That's why I had to start implementing a timer because I was like losing track of time.
That's hilarious.
um, so I do want Valerie to have this moment because we are going to come back for a part two, and I want her to be able to like wrap up part one and in her pearls of wisdom. And if you can share that with us, that'd be great.
I think the best advice I could give anybody is trust your own voice. What you think about you is the only thing that really matters. I mean, I want to keep it simple. Let's just do that.
Okay. I want to piggyback on that and I want to ask you a question for those girls that have not found their voice yet and not as confident as you are now. What is something that you can tell them to help them get through until they can make it? Basically, the fake it till you make it.
Yeah. I think you should figure out the things that you like about yourself. And I would say top 5, pick 3, and celebrate that stuff all the time. Play it up. If you have great hair, always be showcasing your hair. Do something fun with it. Use, beauty products to make you feel amazing, whatever. Play up the things that you like about yourself, because then that will remind you of the reasons that you're worth loving.
Oh, that's actually really good advice.
Oh,
I
good.
I would like to second Val's pearl that being someone who was a fellow fatty at one point. It is something that does not define you. At the time when it's all happening and you're getting bullied or you're getting teased, it feels like that's all you are. You're just the fat girl, or
Yeah.
you're just
Yeah.
the short girl, or you're just
It
whatever.
encompasses your whole life. Yeah, it
Right.
really can get to you. Yeah.
Yeah. It's all of a sudden it takes on a life of its own to where you don't even see the person who you really are anymore because now all you see is what you're being called or what you're
With
being
what you're listening to, which is why you have to talk to yourself about it.
right. Right.
Yep.
And those just come from good self affirmation. And that's
Hmm.
basically what Val's saying. It's like, I don't care if you look in your mirror when you do it or if you write it down, but take time to really highlight and showcase what you know is good about you and things
Right.
that you want to improve as well. Because
Yes.
right, when you speak it, it comes into an existence. It's when
Yes.
you're quiet and just timid that nothing's ever going to change. And I promise you, for a bully, the sooner you stand up for yourself and you let them know, I'm not going to take your shit anymore. they will leave you alone
Yep.
because most bullies are insecure about something about themselves.
Yep. Which is
So,
sad because every time all the bullies I have ever known are hurting in some way, but you can't help them because they're not ready to see it yet.
yep,
I mean, even adult bullies now, we can't help you
yep, yep,
because you're gonna take me down with you if I try. So,
exactly. And you
so
forgive the
boundaries.
bullies. You forgive the bullies, and you
You
don't
forgive
forgive
the
them for
bullies,
yourself.
but
Yeah,
you
you.
keep those boundaries for sure.
Oh
You have
yeah.
those
Oh,
firm
for
boundaries
sure.
because
You love them
if
from
you're
a distance.
if you're trying to do self affirmations and you got your best friend over here calling you an egomaniac or something ridiculous, then you gotta set up some boundaries.
Yeah.
And it's okay if people are mad at you. They're allowed to be mad. That's their feelings, that's how they feel.
Yep.
But you don't owe anybody an explanation for
Nope.
making sure that your mental health is first.
Oh, high five there,
High
Val.
five
Give me.
again.
Yes, I like that one. I like that one. Because there's many
Yay!
snakes in the grass. And so some of these bullies are in your very own backyard. So be careful and pay attention.
Well, isn't today the sorry, I have raspberries in my Chardonnay. I'm bougie up in this bitch. But didn't Selena die today? 95?
You know what? I think it was, I want to say, is it today or was it past? Because I feel like I saw something on Facebook like maybe a couple weeks ago about it.
Yeah, I think it's either today or yesterday, but that was her manager. Her manager murdered her.
She was just
So here's
jealous.
a story about needing good boundaries, because that woman was not her friend, obviously.
She was jealous and wanted to see
Something. I
herself.
don't know the whole story, but
I watched the movie with Jennifer Lopez. It was great.
oh, good. Oh, I should watch that.
It
It's
was
not like
really, it was actually a
anything else.
really good movie. Like Jennifer, I don't really know how to act that well, but this movie she did okay.
Yeah.
But just to say, wrap it up before I let Val go with this first segment. When you do and you're ready to forgive, we're not forgiving them for them. You're forgiving them for yourself because
Hmm.
the sooner you can let it go, the sooner you can move on.
Yep. Agree.
So, all right. Well, before you get out of here, you guys hit like and subscribe at the bottom of the screen. Val, don't go anywhere. I'm just going to put you on pause. But everybody else, I will see you in part 2. Bye.